So, guys, we are back on the matters of Kunene and the Patriotic Alliance. You remember that the deputy president of Patriotic Alliance was found at a home of a murder suspect, a guy who possibly orchestrated the assassination of a very popular music DJ in this country and other people. So, on Monday, when the police swatted the home of Mr. TK Mulefe, Kunene was found in that home, and Kunene has went on a media panic tour, telling South Africans that he was only there because he wanted to accompany his journalist that was supposed to get an exclusive with this guy that has been accused of orchestrating this heinous crime of this guy that was also accused of committing crimes by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. So Gayton, McKenzie and Patriotic Alliance, they have been very swift. I must say that they've been very swift because if you look at the reaction of Gayton, McKenzie and Patriotic Alliance on this matter, and you easily compare it to how Ramaphosa dealt with the matter of Senzo Mchunu, we must say that Patriotic Alliance was more swift because the president heard about the allegations on Sunday and he waited for 7 days to tell South Africans that he's going to put Senzo Mchunu on a paid leave. He's going to put Senzo Mchunu on a paid leave and he's going to initiate a commission of inquiry. But then if we look at Gayton, McKenzie and how Patriotic Alliance has been, they've been very swift. And right now, as we speak, Kunene has resigned from his official duties in the city of Johannesburg and they've also suspended him as the deputy president of Patriotic Alliance. So on Saturday, the leader of Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie, went on social media and he told the South Africans that, guys, this is the hardest letter I had to write in my entire life. But for the sake of transparency, I am putting it here. So Gayton McKenzie is telling South Africans that, guys, what we are about to read, this is the hardest letter that he has written. You remember that Gayton McKenzie, after the scandal broke, he also went on social media and he told South Africans that, no, man, I believe that Kunene is innocent. This guy is innocent. Kunene would not hurt a fly. And this is something that Gayton McKenzie is going to reiterate. So I want us to look at the statement that was released by Patriotic Alliance over the weekend on this matter. So this is a letter that was sent to the Secretary General Chilean Stevens of Patriotic Alliance. And this letter says that, Dear Secretary General, this is the suspension of Kunene as the deputy president. I write this communique to you following. I write this communique to you following the engagement with our deputy president regarding certain allegations that have been raised against him. These relate to a public perception that he's provided reasons for being found at the home of an alleged member of a murder syndicate should be tested. As a result, he agreed to cooperate with the investigation, which will be led by a competent legal team. Until such time as he is fully cleared, he has agreed to step aside from his political role in the Patriotic Alliance and he will therefore not act and work in any official capacity in the party while on suspension. Please communicate the terms of this suspension to Mr. Kunene and be advised that the appointment of the investigators has already begun, which will be finalized through your office. I trust that you and the Patriots will join me in remaining steadfast during this challenging period. So this is the president of Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie, saying that, guys, man, like, let's put Kunene on the side. But I must say that as much as there's criticism on Kunene and the reason that he provided for why he was there and Gayton McKenzie speaking, but when you look at the party and how the party has acted, they have acted very swiftly because this is something that the ANC they should learn from Patriotic Alliance. I can't believe that I'm saying that the ANC should actually learn from Patriotic Alliance because this is exactly what South Africans were expecting President Ramaphosa to do. As soon as he heard that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has accused his Minister of Police of having dodgy links with these people that are selling drugs in this country, but instead Ramaphosa put his friend on a paid leave and hired the Deputy Minister of Police. So right now, South Africans are paying for 3 people. They are paying for the salary and the perks of Senzo Mchunu. South Africans are also paying for the salary and perks of that guy, that radical guy, Professor Firoz Kachalia, the new acting police minister, and they are also paying for the deputy minister. So this is a mess. Instead of actually cutting the cost, the South Africans are expected to pay more because an ANC comrade has committed a crime. Allegedly. This is complete madness. So this is a letter that was written by Kunene, and this letter was addressed to the city of Johannesburg Metropolitan Municipality, the Civic Center. And this letter says that, Dear Honorable Speaker, I regret to inform you that I am tendering my resignation as the Proportional Representation Councillor for the Patriotic Alliance, effective immediately. During my time as a councillor and the MMC for transport, I believe I have made a significant contribution to building and rebuilding our beautiful city, and I would like to thank you for all your colleagues in council and government who have worked professionally and diligently alongside me. I mean, like, guys, I know that Kunene was there. MMC for transport, but was there a need for him to actually drive people around? You look at the roads of Johannesburg, but in the middle of the day, the MMC for transport in Johannesburg was busy singing and having tea at the home of a guy who has been alleged to have orchestrated the murder of a very popular DJ. Like, this is insane. Kunene was the real MMC for transport because he was transporting his people. The real MMC for transport, I'm telling you. I'm stepping aside from the public life for a period while my partner satisfies itself to a certain allegations that have been raised against me, which are unfounded, but I have nevertheless agreed it would be in the public interest for me to await the clearing of my name before considering a return to public service and duty. I believe I have always committed myself to serve the residents of Johannesburg with vigor, authenticity, and vision. During my 2 years as MMC for transport, I worked to be the force for good, championing accessible transport, confronting inefficiencies, and challenging systematic rot within our institution. I remain a loyal patriot towards our broader political mission and will remain dedicated to the upliftment of our communities. I extend my gratitude to the executive mayor, to whom I am writing separately, the city council, the administration, and our residents for the opportunity to serve. You remember, guys, the DA said that if Kunene does not resign, then Dada Morero must actually do something about the fact that Kunene has basically refused to resign. But it looks like Kunene did not allow the situation to get there. And I think it was quite, again, a bit naive to think that the ANC mayor would actually act against corruption. He was never going to do something to Kunene. And I'm sure when these comrades are sitting there, they're looking at Kunene and say, why are you resigning? Why are you resigning? You've just committed a minor crime. Why are you resigning? I'm sure the ANC comrades cannot understand why Kunene is resigning, because they are looking at Senzo Mqunu and saying that this is how the matters should be dealt with. This is how the matters should be dealt with. So this is a letter where Kunene was resigning as the councillor in the city of Johannesburg. Then he released another letter where he resigned as the MMC for transport. So this letter was sent to the executive mayor, that incompetent mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Morero. And this letter says, Dear Executive Mayor, I regret to inform you that I have tendered my resignation as a proportional representation councillor for Patriotic Alliance, effective immediately, and this will be unable to continue, and I will be unable to continue as the member of your mayoral committee responsible for transport. I would like to thank you for entrusting me to lead this portfolio during your tenure, and I believe that together we made significant contributions to building and rebuilding our beautiful city in partnership with our colleagues in government and the administration. Guys, am I the only one who actually thinks that these letters were written by AI? I don't know. Am I the only one who actually looks at this letter to say that no, these people were there in the chat GPT to say that we want you to write a letter to executive mayor, this is what you must say, and write a letter to the speaker? Because this, like, they don't sound authentic. They don't sound authentic. This is all I'm saying. So Kunene says, I am stepping aside from the public life for a period while my party satisfied itself to a certain allegations that have been raised against me, which are unfounded, but I have nevertheless agreed it would be in the public interest for me to wait the clearing of my name before considering a return to the public service and duty. I believe I have always committed myself to serve the residents of Johannesburg with vigor, authenticity, and I mean, like, this is the same letter, guys. This is the same letter. This is the same letter, man. This is the same letter. Absolutely madness. This is the same letter. Like, there's no need for me to actually read this letter until the end because it says exactly what the letter that was written to the speaker says. So, Gayton McKenzie actually believes that Kunene might have been set up. He does not believe that Kunene actually has the links with this guy that he has been linked to. I mean, like, you remember when it comes to politicians actually denying knowing the people that they are linked to, it goes back to Senzo Mchunu saying that I don't know who Brown Mkhosi is, only for him to turn back and say that I know this guy, but this guy is only a comrade of mine. But Gayton McKenzie actually believes that Kunene might have been set up, so which actually makes the investigation into this matter very questionable, because if you guys have already decided that Kunene is innocent on this matter, what is the point? What is the point? You guys should have just went ahead like the ANC and told the South Africans that, guys, Kunene will remain the MMC for transport and Kunene will remain the councillor for Patriotic Alliance in Johannesburg. There's no need for these people to actually conduct the so-called investigation into Kunene, knowing very well that they have already made up their minds. And how do we know that these results of these so-called investigations are not going to be tampered with? Because I cannot trust these comrades, guys. That's what I'm saying. I cannot trust these comrades because you remember on a letter that was written to the Secretary General of Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie said that as a result, he has agreed to cooperate with an investigation which will be led by a competent legal team. I have, like, something tells me that this legal team, it is their own legal team that is going to find Kunene innocent. But then, this is what Gayton McKenzie has actually said.
If there's a murder that happened, and there's only two suspects, me and Kenny, I must be the main suspect. You know, Kenny Kunene can't hurt a fly. That guy is such a soft character, let me tell you. And the mistake with him that I
look at the spokesperson for Umkhondo's party looking at Gayton McKenzie saying nonsense. I'm sure he's looking at Gayton McKenzie to say, as soon as you are done with that interview, I'm there to tell the people that you guys are running a criminal political party, just like Julius Malema has said. You remember the utterances of Julius Malema? He said that these people are nothing but a criminal syndicate. They are running a criminal organization.
If there's a murder that happened, and there's only two suspects, me and Kenny, I must be the main suspect. You know, Kenny Kunene can't hurt a fly. That guy is such a soft character, let me tell you. And the mistake with him that I said, that's my fight with him always. He's too.
And again, guys, it's quite funny how the tone of Gayton McKenzie has changed now that his own comrade is being investigated for this. You remember Gayton McKenzie, it was only last week when he says that, I'm ready to talk there at the McKenzie Commission because there's a lot of things that I know. I know that people are pointing fingers at each other. Let's go to the commission and expose the rot. This is what Gayton McKenzie said. But now that Kunene is the one that has been implicated and that has been looked at as a suspect, he says that, no, man, this guy cannot hurt a fly. If there's a murder suspect, if there are two people that are being suspected of a murder, then I must be the one who have done it because Kunene cannot hurt a fly. I'm just saying that it's quite funny how his tone has changed from him telling South Africans that let's go to Mkhwanazi Commission and expose the corruption. But now it's like, nah, man, nah.
Accessible. You call Kenny, where are you? Why? I'm here in the squatter camp, there's a party going here. Where are you? No, I'm just saying, I'm here this suburb meeting this. He's never at home, he's always busy and he's accessible, but I can tell you, man, he doesn't believe he was set up. I do think, he says to me, no, I wasn't set up. It was pure coincidence. I said to him that he was there during the time of the arrest. I have no proof, but I can't say for a fact. I just have a gut feeling that. But let's wait for the investigation. People must also know that we've worked very hard to rebuild our reputation coming from jail. We've worked very, 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 very hard. We will never and I'm speaking for Mr. Kunene also, will never risk that by associating with even these guys. You know, even if they did this thing, if they are guilty, I was just looking at this thing. One gun killing 10 people. These are amateurs. Honestly, in the crime underworld. So why would we even mix with criminals? I'm just, you know, if you look at these things, I know crime. I can tell you now, when I heard this gun killed 10 people, I already knew you're dealing with amateurs, and I want to congratulate the cops again. I'm glad they caught them, and you would not find me in the company of those people, and you will not find Mr. Kunene in the company of those people, but what happened was very unfortunate that he was there at that time.
So this is what the leader of Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie, is saying. And guys, what do you think about what Gayton McKenzie is saying? What do you think about what Gayton McKenzie is saying? Because, you know, if there were just allegations that Kunene was at the home, was allegedly at the home of this guy that has been suspected of heinous crimes, it was going to make sense for him to say, like, nah, maybe it was a... But Kunene was actually found there. He was found there. And I'm sorry that people are actually looking at the past of Gayton McKenzie and Kunene and saying that you guys have always been the criminals. And this is going to hurt the Patriotic Alliance a lot. It is going to hurt the Patriotic Alliance a lot, because if the investigations come out and say that there's a link between Kunene and this guy, and Kunene has met this guy before, because Kunene said that he has never met this guy before. He does not have his phone number. It was his first time going there. He didn't even know he was going to the home of this guy. Just imagine, man, you are the MMC for transport, and you are aware of these people that have been mentioned by General Ntantam Khonazi, and you are going to the home of this guy with your supposed journalist to get a breaking story from this guy that has been accused of murders and orchestrating assassinations, and you say that you have never met this person before, you don't know this person. I mean, like, the optics are not good. It is not looking good. I must say that it is not looking good. It is not looking good at all. It is not looking good. And thinking about this story of Gayton McKenzie and Kunene, why didn't the journalist of Kunene break the story? Because the guy was there to make a story. And now, the person that they were supposedly supposed to interview has been arrested for the murder of DJ Somebody. Why didn't that journalist break the story? And who is that journalist that went there with Kunene? Who is that journalist? Because I think we also need to hear the side. I think we need to hear the side of the journalist. It is unfair for these people to actually hide who this journalist is. We want to see the journalist. I am sure that I'm not the only person who is actually quite curious about who this journalist is. I mean, like, a huge story happens, and you guys went there with this publication of Kunene, the African News Global, if I'm not mistaken, and you went there to do a story, and a major bust happens. You guys were supposed to say, yes, we went to this house because we wanted to do an interview with this person, and he has been arrested. Here's a story for you. We saw it firsthand. We saw it firsthand, but no, they didn't break the story. They didn't break the story. Which, again, it is quite suspicious, because this guy is a journalist. You are supposed to break stories. So if you are a journalist and you are not breaking stories, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? So the Democratic Alliance is actually applying a lot of pressure on this matter. And you remember that previously the Democratic Alliance did say that Kunene giving these reasons why he was at the home of Mr. TK Molefe, like, these reasons are ridiculous.
I suppose his party is, of course, investigating internally his association with the alleged murderer, or either investigating, I suppose, how he would have responded to that. What do you want investigated, and how does it link to the revelations of this association the MMC has with a suspect?
Look, Tabo, any political party internal processes is frankly irrelevant for us as the DA in this case, because every party has their processes. What we are concerned about is the fact that an MMC who is sitting in the city executive, who is working on the delegation of the executive mayor, already we have a situation where public trust already is at an all-time low. And finding an MMC was in an influential position in the city of Johannesburg, working with the delegations of the executive mayor, being found in a murder suspect house. And at this point, we don't even know if that murder suspect is possibly either doing business with the city of Johannesburg, or if the person has any links to the Patriotic Alliance in terms of possibly getting contracts and things like that. So for us, it's a matter of good governance. We want this moral dilemma and ethical dilemma out of the way. And we have requested for the investigation into procurement practices based on information that we became aware of some time back. And it's unfortunate that the issue of the murder suspect and the MMC being present at his house is now part of it. But it's information that has already, we've queried some information some months back about issues in JRA, MTC, and also the whole Lillian Ngoyi situation where they are now the second contractor that is working on that rehabilitation of that road.
So, of course, the DA is not going to let this story go because of their animosity with the Patriotic Alliance. We know that these two political parties, they don't get along, not at all. You remember even when Gayton and McKenzie did that long live telling South Africans about how innocent Kunene is, like, he also took some time to speak about the DA. And the DA is not the one that has been charged, but his own friend has been accused of possibly having the links with this guy, but somehow he has actually made it about the Democratic Alliance. So, guys, what do you think about the actions that were taken by Patriotic Alliance and the fact that this was the hardest letter that Gayton McKenzie had to write, and him basically insinuating that Kunene might have been set up? What are your thoughts? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.